have to put this, Mi casa, su casa, my friend. Welcome back. I really appreciate you watching the first episode of Watercolor, which is about... What was it about? That was about the rubber plant, which is very silent, and also cityscapes. This episode, I am going to do travel. Of course, I can't travel. Please don't laugh on me, at me. I can't travel. I love traveling and I like to ride my motorcycle, go around places, valleys, mountains, forests, rivers, not in rivers, but I do that, I like that. But I can't do it because of this pandemic situation, you all know. Okay, in this episode, we are going to learn a little bit of camp life. I would love to have a caravan, but I don't have, so as I can't own an RV, so I just thought I should paint one. That would be fun. So if I can paint one, I thought I would share with you. So today's topic is about camp life. So we are going to learn camp life. Obviously, we're not going to camp and put a campfire, burn marshmallows and those things. Obviously not. But then this episode will try to explore something different rather than the typical still life, cityscape. We'll explore something new. I would explore something new and I would love you to join me and explore. You know the drill. I know the drill. We are going to choose some pictures. Obviously, I don't have an RV to take pics. So I'll choose some pictures and we'll proceed. By the way, I just did a big goof. I did a big mistake. You know what I did? I added too much chocolate syrup in my oats this morning. Shouldn't do that. Became too sweet. Let's go. Okie dokie, let's start with Unsplash. And let's start with Unsplash. I'm just gonna put, van, travel, and we'll see. Whoa, so many nice pictures. Now, let's see. Okay, colors are going to be basic. I'll be using a little bit of orange. There. Van Dyke brown. This time I'm going to use probably a little bit of French vermilion. Sennelier. I love Sennelier colors. They're just fascinating. Beautiful and fluid colors. Alizarin crimson. That's it. This is Mission Gold. Ultramarine Deep. I'll be using a little bit of forest green. Alright, so we are in Adobe Lightroom and this is the picture we have chosen. Now let's take a closer look, okay? As you can see, the picture is quite warm, it's totally daylight, maybe a little bit of overcast, sunny shadows because it's not quite sunny, but it's still daytime, it's quite bright, but the colors are slightly evened out. What I mean by that is this. This is a little bit of highlights here, almost the same color tonal values on the mountains and the valleys. So, and these things are quite heavy contrast, meaning it's quite light and it's quite dark. Now, that's the background area. Now let's take a closer look towards these things. So these trees are slightly more detailed and slightly more high in color, or rich in color, you can say. So normally when you paint, you have to make sure to get this idea correct, that you have to put the background slightly cooler, and when you come towards the foreground will be slightly darker and colorful or detailed or rich. But then, you know what, you don't have to follow the rules, obviously. So let's take a look at the van. Now this is simple. It's a very pastel white with a touch of green, which can be emerald mixed with white, or you can dilute it with just simple water and it will still work. So now this is what we are going to paint, and I'm not going to touch the grass too much, so I'll just create the textures by sprinkling water, and you can see in the speed demo, obviously. So I'm not going to change any colors, I'm not going to change any lighting and everything, but you can do, I mean, if you like to do, you can do a lot of tweaking. You can change the temperature and warmer or lighter, whatever. So choice is yours, but I'm just going to keep it as it is and we'll paint. So let's begin. All right, that is done. So these are experimental paintings, so you never know what exactly they might look like. You might experiment with your technique, colors and everything. So I almost went with the realistic colors as per the picture, and I crafted some randomness for the ground. I actually didn't do the grasses, long grasses and everything. I think it turned out to be quite okay. So this is one of the practices. Now what I'm thinking is I should take a break. And what am I going to do in the break? So break is done, and now I'm thinking I should go for another van, some kind of a nomadic painting. Van is good. So let's just choose another landscape style, another, a different kind of a lighting system, probably morning, afternoon, or evening. We'll see. So we'll find out some pictures and we'll try to do that. This episode is only van life because I don't have a van. I desperately need one so I can travel around the world. And you definitely need money to eat. And I cannot create a self-sustainable space station inside my caravan, right? And there are other problems. Yeah. But I still want one. I still need one, right? Somewhere down the lane, I don't know. Let's just see some pictures and I'll try to paint. You guys joining me for this and watching whatever the thing I'm trying to do. Thank you. It's a brilliant thing. Really appreciate that. We'll continue now. Alright, let's take a look at this one. It's the same thing, but then, it's tricky because you're not there, so it's really hard to gaze. Now, it can be morning around 10 to 11, or it can be afternoon because the shadows are quite long, so it's hard to judge. But the thing is, it's again a warm picture, and the sky is quite bluish, the water is quite bluish. Pay attention to this. Now, if you notice, the sky is getting lighter from top till the horizon area, and the trees, they have a very warm colors over here, especially these things, as you can notice, right? So quite warm, lots of browns and reds in there, and the ground also has a lot of same casting colors like red and brown and everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little yellow, slightly yellow ochreish, so things will be well distributed. Okay, now look at this. There is a guy sitting over here, so obviously if we try to paint that, that will not look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add two characters, imaginary characters, and that will be beautiful. Such a cute van over there. Okie dokie. So let's just start with this painting and we'll see how it goes. So we're just trying to capture the impression and the outline of the entire thing, so it will be a watercolor sketch rather than a hyper realistic watercolor painting. So enjoy the process, and I hope you can come up with your different pictures, and you can try it. You can see there are a lot of them. So I just chose these pictures to paint maybe in my own free time, and they just look beautiful. Look at the colors over here. Look at this one, look at this one. There are two characters over here sitting and having a chat, having coffee or something, I don't know. But the thing is, the trees are beautiful, the camper van is beautiful, but it's a little complicated picture to paint and show in the process, but maybe next time. So as of now, we'll just stick to this one. It looks very simple, but when you paint, it'll be beautiful, trust me. Okay, so the painting turned out to be quite awesome. I thought it will be quite bad, but it's not. I guess I'm a good artist by default. Point is, I like to try different topics and expand your boundaries. I mean, you should think out of the box. You can try, and you should try things out of the box, and not necessarily you should stick to those typical landscapes. And come on, there is nothing wrong with that, but obviously, but if you do, it's just for your own practice. People might not like it. If you would like to sell these paintings, maybe they would not like it. They might say, you know what, these paintings, they do not fit to our criteria. But then I would recommend them. So you should practice, and you never know, you might learn something and you might like, and if nothing else, you could just keep them for your collection. I am certainly going to do that. Now let's take a look at both the paintings, and we'll take a couple of notes on top. Okay? Notes. If you notice, both the paintings are basically warm in nature. So the first one, it has all this mountains and valleys. There's a small camper van. Thing is, I added those two characters, right? So it's warm because of the choice of colors, right? See, we have all this brown earth colors going on, a little bit of green and everything. So it has the warmth in it, daytime, obviously. High contrast dark trees. So we have all this ochre, yellow ochre and brown going on. Little bit of green with brown again going on. So we have all this warmth in this painting. Now, the second one is obviously warm because it's afternoon delight. Now, in this afternoon situation, if you notice, we have these two palm trees, couple of characters. Even though the colors are slightly complementary, like the blues and the browns or reds or yellows in that family, colors are slightly complementary. Still, this painting has a warm feeling because of the afternoon thing. If you notice, above the horizon, the sky, when it is fading down, it's getting lighter, and because of that, the painting seems like daytime. Timing is really, really important. So as you saw those two paintings, they are both warm, but they still have different colors. So if you think, if you apply blue and it will look cool, not necessarily. And if you apply brown and it will look quite warm, not necessarily. It's all about how exactly the colors are combined and how exactly the colors are complementing each other. Our eyes are trained to see things in complementary spectrum, meaning opposite colors. That's all there is. So if you are learning, I would recommend you to take a look at all the complementary combinations. They'll help you a lot. That's why both the paintings are quite okay. I wouldn't say they are masterpieces, but that's my style and that's how it is. Anyway, so I hope it helped, and okay, take care, and I'll see you in the next episode, right? We are going to learn something, probably landscape, different style of landscape, or maybe, I don't know, night paintings. Watercolor night paintings are absolutely gorgeous. We'll see. You take care. I'll see you. Bye bye. Bye bye. I'm so tired.